Welcome back from that break. You're still watching Life Stories. Juggling between career and family is tricky. It takes a man of passion and resilience to manage both. With his popular unending battles with police and government, how he manages to still be a father and husband is what makes him a hero. We continue with Life Stories. You got married to your beautiful wife, Winnie Yanyuma. How did you meet?
Well, I first met Winnie in Makerere when she came to study engineering there. She was there quite briefly, and she was a friend of my friends. And so, I knew this was Winnie Byanyima. I didn't get to have any kind of relationship with her then. She later on turned up in 1985 when we were in Masaka, advancing towards Kampala. And she came from Nairobi, where there had been peace talks at the time. And I think she had been taking part in that process of the peace talks. So that was the second time that we met. And while actually when she came, actually she, I think, was not, I think she was not quite familiar with our tough environment. She became unwell and had serious stomach troubles. So I was called in to help and treat her, which I did. And we had a chat then. But we were all busy that time with the war effort. The next time really that we met was now when we were in government. She was abroad. She was already working as a diplomat in France. And she organized a conference here in Kampala and came to Kampala to participate in that conference. And it was in that conference that we got to know each other in a different way. And that was 1991. And our friendship grew. While she was in France, I went and visited her in France. That time I had left government. I was in Masaka, commanding the mechanized regiment. And then she decided to come back in 1993 to contest for the Constituent Assembly. And so this was a better opportunity to know each other better. And we became more and more friendly. Yeah. And, yes, and the rest is, as they say, absolutely.
How is it you being a husband and a father?
Well, again, I think I haven't been either of those things in a traditional sense. And our son was born also in 1999. It was a time that I think our troubles with the government were intensifying. it was the same year in 1999 that I wrote that document that started my drift into the opposition. You know, so throughout from 1999 up to now, I have been living in a very tumultuous time. And so we have really not had time to settle down as family, as husband and father and so on, because in 2001, I went into exile for 4 years while they remained here, and later on went to Cape Town, and later on went to Ethiopia, where Winnie was employed at the African Union. So by the time I came back to Uganda in 2005, Winnie was in Ethiopia with Anselm. In 2007, she moved from Ethiopia. In 2006, in fact, she moved from Ethiopia to New York.
And all this time you were here?
Yes. She's been in New York for 6 years while I'm here. She's now moved to UK.
Wow.
Yeah, so most of our relationship has been on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. Again.
She gets time to come home and see you.
Well, I also get time to go and visit. Yes, I do as much as I can. But you know, so I have not had, you know, the kind of opportunity to continuously, you know, be present and discharge my responsibilities as a father and as a husband. And the reason she left was because it was no longer possible to stay here and raise our child here. Because during the 4 years I was in South Africa, she was in jail 7 times, even though she was a member of parliament. Policemen were always in her compound and taking her, and this was traumatizing the young boy. And so it was as a result of that she decided to seek employment elsewhere. She didn't complete her term in parliament. She left parliament and they conducted a by-election to fill her post. So it was forced on her to go. Yes. Now, me who is here, I'm sure you know the kind of environment in which I live. So I don't know whether it's the environment you want to attract her to come into. So it's not been by choice that we should live this way. It's the unavoidable kind of situation in which we've been thrust by the situation in our country. We are still optimistic, and that's why we wake up every day to work hard. We believe that things will change, and if at least we are not able to enjoy our country as we have indeed missed out, at least our children should be able to do so.
Some people out there see you as someone aggressive or tough. What's your take on that?
Well, I think they are right. I'm quite aggressive against evil. I have very, very little compromise with evil, and I don't nurse it and romanticize with it. No, I think if I think there is evil here, I say it as straight as I can and attack it as hard as I can. I never raise my voice against anybody, you know, in my social environment. And, you know, I like to socialize and laugh and enjoy life. So it's the unfortunate circumstances in which we have had to live and work that have created that kind of image that maybe I'm aggressive. I nonetheless still think, of course, that it has been deliberately, drummed up. I'm never angry myself. And I think if I was angry, I would make mistakes. I am deliberately aggressive on certain things. But that's not anger. Anger is when you have no control. I do everything deliberately and within the confines of decency. If you are opposing a regime like this, you'll be characterized and demonized in all kinds of ways. Doesn't change who you are. And so I believe deep down I'm still the same person that grew up in that village which I told you. And I still cherish exactly the same things. Yeah.
You went through a very difficult time when you were falsely accused of raping a friend's daughter. How did you pull through?
Happily, I must say that it didn't really bother me very much. I think firstly because it was patently false, so I was not worried.
Glad that was cleared.
Yes, I was not worried at all that there was something that I needed to to be worried about. And secondly is that I was prepared. By the time I was charged, I knew I was going to be charged. I knew I was going to be charged actually before I came from South Africa, because they had tried to use the threat of charging me to frighten me from coming back. So in fact, they sent all this information to me when they heard that I am determined to come back. Said, by the way, we are going to charge you with treason, we are going to charge you with rape, we are going to charge you with this. And I said, yes, and I said, fine, let me come and you charge me, and you show me where those things are. And so I'm glad that indeed I came, and that they tried to carry out their threat, which I think exposed them very badly. I think every seemingly bad experience has a good side to it.
You're a retired colonel. Apart from politics, what else keeps you busy?
What you call politics, which I think is simply, fighting for survival both at a personal and at a national level, has become my full-time calling.
Eating up all your time.
Yes, I would have been farming, my intention had been to farm, and I have some, infrastructure for that, both here and in my village in Rukunjiri, but I can't deceive you that I farm. I wanted to do business. Like I told you, I have been keen to sell fuel like my father and to do business. but I can't tell you that I really do business. Because even if I wanted to, I simply can't. As you see, I'm not free to leave my home whenever I want to. I'm not free to go downtown if I want to, and to walk the city and to do whatever I want to do. So I live a very strange life that has deprived me of the normal things that any person or any Ugandan should be doing.
How does it feel that you now have a broken relationship with a person who was once a very good friend of yours?
Well, I must say that I had never conceived my relationship with Mr. Museveni as a person of friendship. It was a working relationship, and we had had a very good working relationship, both in the bush and subsequently. And you know, he was much older than me. We had grown in we had come from very different backgrounds. So we were united by the cause that we were pursuing then. And I had grown to respect him and to trust him. And that was the basis of the good working relationship that we had. Unfortunately, both these were really shattered. And it's sad, just like in any other situation where you know, you trust and respect somebody, and only to find that what you thought was not the case. It's hurtful, but you know, those are the realities of life. I have no, you know, ill feelings against him as a person. I think he has weaknesses as a person that have led him to act the way he has. But you know, I have no ill feelings towards him as a person.
Where do you see Uganda in the next 10 years?
Unpredictable, because there are many variables. A lot will depend on what Ugandans are able to do, whether they are able to wake up to the challenge that they face and do what they ought to do to regain their country. So there are many things I think that are still fluid. But what I can say is that whatever the case, will only influence whether we have a change quickly or whether it is delayed. But the change will come.
How hopeful are you?
Sooner or later, Ugandans will take charge of their destiny, that they will be able to reconstruct their country in a way that creates opportunity for everybody, equal opportunity for everybody, that our immense resources benefit the public in an equitable way, that public goods are again developed, that we can have hospitals, that we can have a viable education system that produces people with skills. My core and my duty is to tell Ugandans to wake up and to take, you know, their responsibility, their duty of having a country under their charge very seriously. And I'm encouraged by what I see. I think ordinary people are really awake now. Most people are awake. The missing link actually is the leadership. And so there will be a revolution here, and things will change. I would wish that it was a non-violent revolution, because a violent revolution has a lot of cost. But that will, as I have said, depend on what the regime, the people in the regime do. We'll wait and see.
What's that one thing that people don't know about you that you want the public to know?
Well, really, I don't know the one thing. I think everything that I am is more or less known. But I guess the public believes that I have such a strong hostility towards Museveni and what is related to Museveni, that is not true. Some of Museveni's relatives have been my closest friends. Before we broke up, and have continued being up to now, including some of his close relatives. And we get on very well, though now sometimes we have to talk outside the knowledge of government circles. Political differences can be there, but they need not, tear apart personal. Yeah, they shouldn't tear apart personal relationships that people have.
Do you ever have fun and recreational moments with your family without bringing in politics?
Oh yes, as I have said, not as much as we would have loved to, but from time to time we take holidays. We go out and
Out of Uganda?
Out of Uganda.
Okay.
Even in Uganda.
You go dancing?
Yeah. Do you know where I go?
No.
Africo.
This
I go to Africo.
I just wish you had an extra day here and you were going to do all those activities.
Yeah.
Like I would love to.
I go to Africo. And as soon as the journalists know I'm there, they come, then I leave. I never let them catch me on a photograph there. The last time I was there, I was dancing up to 2.
Sometimes we go to Mwea or to some other place and, relax and look at nature and, and enjoy ourselves as family. Even outside where they are, sometimes I join them and we enjoy ourselves. The other Christmas, we had a lovely time in New York. We danced the whole night and no, at home. Yeah, so there are moments when we are not, encumbered and thinking about the troubles around us.
I must really applaud you. At first, when I used to see you on TV and everything, as I said before, I see, like other people, I see you as someone very aggressive. But I must say, when I met you, you really welcomed us so well. Thank you so much. You're a down-to-earth person. That's what I should say. That's my opinion.
You're most welcome. Well, of course, as I have said, there has been a deliberate misrepresentation
And you're totally
of what I am. I guess people who have interacted with me make their own judgments.
Yes, but that's my judgment. Thank you so much for it.
Most welcome.
We may all have known him mostly for his politics and battles with the incumbent government. This for many has left a mark of a tough and stubborn individual. On the contrary, he is as human as all of us. He is a son, husband, and father. It could be circumstances that label him different. We hope from a different perspective, you can now make your own judgment. Perseverance and dedication are two words that describe the now retired Colonel Dr. Besigye. Though retired from the army, he still goes on to pursue his political career. Nonetheless, he is still a dedicated father and husband. It's from people like him that we learn not to give up, but rather stay true to our dreams and ambitions. Until next week, I stay yours truly, Zuena Chiremasali.
You will manage.
Hey, Masagarao.
You people.